Mwah, It's your witchy friend Grace from Small Worlds Big Adventures with a little Spooktober announcement before our review of the maddening game Fury of Dracula. This week and the next 2 weeks, we will be giving away a game from our personal collection. This week's game is Alice is Missing, a heart-stopping role-playing game about a missing girl. To qualify, you must live within the United States and comment on at least one video this week, October 8th through 14th. We will then randomly choose a winner from those comments. Also, everyone who comments throughout the month, from the 1st to the 30th, will be entered for a brand new copy of Horrified, a maddening cooperative board game with iconic monsters. We'll announce the winner by commenting on one of the person's comments and announce on each Sunday's video who has won. The more videos you comment on, the greater chance you have to win. So let us know your thoughts on every game. Hi, I'm Gracie, and this is Scott from Small Worlds Big Adventures, building community through gaming. And today we're going to talk about Fury of Dracula.
Yeah, Fury of Dracula is a game for 2 to 5 players. Bit on the longer side, 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
Kind of depending on players, although really kind of more just how well people are doing. Theoretically, you can get it for $60, but right now it seems to be out of print.
Yeah.
There are 4 editions of the game, but even that 4th one, the only thing we could find was either a French or an Italian version from overseas.
So if you speak Italian, you could pick that one up.
So right now it may be hard to find. Set up, tear down, 15, 20 minutes. It's kind of got a lot of stuff going on that you got to set up and get ready to play. The game plays asymmetrically. One person plays as Dracula, who is moving across Europe, trying to run out the clock and raise a vampire army, essentially. The other players are characters from the book Dracula, trying to hunt him down. Dracula plays hidden on the board, so you don't know where he is, and there's lots of places for him to hide, and the players have to move from town to town to try and suss him out.
With this being a Dracula-themed vampire board game, we're curious what your favorite vampire franchise is. Mine is currently What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh,
it's so funny.
It is a really good show. Yeah.
What about you?
If I don't choose that, probably Bram Stoker's Dracula is just a really good version of a movie adaptation of the book. It's also a really good movie.
Yeah. My backup would be True Blood. It's trash, but it's good trash.
Trashy.
When we review games, we do it on a 5-point scale from terrible, bad, mix, good, up to excellent. And to kick it off, we're going to talk about player agency. And I said it was good. The players get to move around Europe. There are some hindrances here and there based on what side of the board they are and whatnot. And they get to look for stuff to take down Dracula.
Yeah. I said good, kind of mixed. The players can move pretty much city to city, and they have a few options for doing that. Dracula gets a little bit penned in how he gets to move. The mechanic for that is essentially he lays down a track of cards to show where he was, but then you can't use those cards over till they move off the tracks. Most of the time you can't backtrack, so it limits where they can go, but that's also part of the challenge of playing as the hidden Dracula anyway. So it's not a bad thing, but it is the agency there is a bit mixed.
For sure. Mechanics-wise, I said the mechanics were good.
Yeah. The mechanics the way Dracula moves mechanically is actually well done. The way the players moves is pretty simple, and they move around and either look for Dracula or are gathering equipment and supplies to try and stop him.
I think the components are good.
Yeah, I agree. The components are good. Each character has a little miniature. The cards are decent. The art's okay. You got the board of Europe is nice. Each player has a little cardboard like explainer of what their abilities and stuff are, and keeping track of how many times they've been bitten and stuff. There's some cardboard tokens for different things. Good.
Yeah, there are newer versions, so the components with those are likely better.
Yeah, our version is, I think, the first edition. So it's really old. The newer ones have come with painted miniatures, and I can't even speak to what the cards may or may not be because we have not seen them.
Theming wise, I think it's good. If you're hunting the vampire, you feel like you're hunting this like mythical creature, and having a hard time because vampires turn into bats and stuff. But it very much feels like kind of a traditional vampire theme.
Yeah, I feel like the theming is excellent. Dracula is not overpowered. Yeah. If he catches a character at night, he'll probably beat them. If they catch him during the day, he's probably in trouble. He's better off spending most of the game hidden. It does kind of feel like this frantic search for this villain who's running around causing trouble across Europe. I feel like the theme is excellent.
Enjoyability, I think it's good. You and your friends will have a fun romp across Europe, trying to hopefully defeat Dracula, or becoming part of his army.
Yeah, I feel enjoyability is excellent. When they're done well, I like asymmetrical games. Sometimes I don't like the multiple players versus one player games because then if that one player wins, then everybody else loses. But that can be fine. This honestly is probably one of my top 5 favorite board games. I just really enjoy the way this plays out. All right. So I said excellent.
This is not one of my top 5 favorite. It's enjoyable. It is long and it is not so engaging for me for how long it is.
Yeah.
Even not being Dracula. But it is enjoyable. Would spend an afternoon doing this game. Asymmetrical games, as you may or may not have figured out, Scott tends to take a villain or the one-off role a lot, and I tend to play with the mass horde, and that works great for us. It's an interesting dynamic. You definitely have asynchronous games where you're not like so much pitted against each other, but this is one of those.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is you need to have somebody who's willing to be the other character, which if you have a bunch of newbies may not be the case.
Yeah.
So play with one experienced person or one person who is a dedicated rules lawyer. One thing I do appreciate about the game, no one's taken out. Like you might lose a turn, but even if Dracula gets you, you're not dead for the game.
Right. You have to go rest for a turn, and then he gets a point towards victory, essentially.
Yeah.
If you take out Dracula, then you win, and the game's over. So that's not an issue. Yeah. My takeaways, again, this is probably one of my top 5 favorite board games. I've really enjoyed it. My only regret is that I haven't gotten one of the newer versions, and now they seem like those are out of print currently. Next time I see them on sale, I definitely want to pick up. There's all the way up to a 4th edition is what they've got. The version we have, the instructions are a little obtuse and confusing in a couple of spots, and they're supposed to have like cleared up a lot of that. Kind of what you were saying. I like the asymmetrical gameplay. I like to be the one who's not with the players. Some of that probably comes with I've been a gamekeeper so long that like I'm used to that role. But I also like hidden movement games where you're kind of being tracked down and get to move around a board and the other players don't know what you're doing. Those can be a lot of fun. I really enjoy those. I kind of mentioned this before, but the 4 versus 1 stuff can be a little bit mad because then if the one person wins, everybody else loses. If it's an antagonistic game, though, only one person is winning that anyway. So, it's not that big a deal, but sometimes you feel a little bit bad when you beat every other player who were working together to try and stop you.
Yeah. I will say, if you like the game Hako Ono, you'll probably like this. The frustration I felt with Hako Ono and like lack of enjoyability for that game is not here. This is a lot more enjoyable.
Well, it's also really different when you find the Hako Ono, you basically lost that game.
True.
Whereas with this, through a lot of the game, if you find Dracula, he's got to run away. A lot of the times he can't take the players unless it's specifically at night.
Other games that, if you like them, you'll probably like this. Clue the Great Museum.
Museum Caper.
Yeah. Clue the Great Museum Caper.
Yep.
That's the next line down.
Next line down. Yeah. That's also kind of a similar. One player is playing the cat burglar who's stealing things from the museum, and the other players are detectives trying to track them down, and the cat burglar plays hidden through most of the game.
And then the game Scotland Yard.
Also a hidden role game where everybody is playing detectives who are trying to track down some sort of criminal across London, and the criminal also plays hidden through pretty much all of that game.
Nice. And
that one is set up is a lot more family friendly than like this. This game is less family friendly.
That's fair. If you liked hearing this review, you can go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to hear more board game reviews, game tips, anything tabletop or board game related, you can go ahead and hit subscribe. And if you hit the notification bell, you'll be notified next time we upload. Right down there. If there's nothing else, we'll see you next time.